The days following Prince Sefu's confession brought a sense of hope to the kingdom of Ekuvonu. The villagers worked tirelessly to rebuild the bond with Olokun, but not everyone believed the efforts would succeed. At the palace, King Asimo called a council meeting. Advisors, elders, and Baba Ogin were present, along with Sefu and Obasi. Obasi, the king said, "Your words have inspired the people, but what if their efforts are not enough? What if Olokun demands more?" Obasi stood confidently. "Your Majesty, the strength of Ekuvonu lies in its people. If we show Olokun our unity and sincerity, I believe the curse will be lifted." An elder, Chief Odigan, frowned. "But what if we fail? The lives of our firstborns depend on this. We cannot afford to take chances." Sefu stepped forward. "We will not fail. I've seen the people working together. It's something I never thought possible before. We must believe in them." Baba Ogin explained the final task required to fully appease Olokun. The river spirit has demanded unity, but this must be proven through action. The people must repair the sacred path, a walkway made of special stones that leads to the river's heart. These stones were scattered long ago when greed divided the kingdom. The sacred path was an ancient symbol of harmony between the people and Olokun. Restoring it would require the villagers to collect the stones from different corners of the kingdom and work together to rebuild it. "The path is long," Baba Ogin continued. "It will take strength, patience, and cooperation to complete." Obasi and Sefu volunteered to lead the effort. The villagers were divided into groups, each assigned to gather stones from a specific location. Some stones were buried in the forest, others hidden in the river, and a few locked away in private homes. As the groups set out, they faced various challenges. One group, led by Obasi, ventured into the dense forest to search for the stones. They encountered wild animals and thick undergrowth, but Obasi encouraged them to stay strong and keep going. "Together, we can overcome anything," he said, helping an elderly man climb over a fallen tree. Another group, led by Sefu, faced resistance from some villagers who had hoarded the stones for their own use. "Why should we give up what is ours?" a wealthy trader named Udoka asked. Sefu, remembering his own mistakes, replied humbly, "These stones belong to the kingdom, not to any one person. By giving them back, you are helping save the lives of our children." Udoka hesitated but eventually handed over the stones, inspired by Sefu's sincerity. The hardest task was retrieving the stones submerged in the river. This group, led by the village fishermen, faced strong currents and deep waters. Sefu joined them, diving into the river despite his fear. As they worked, the water began to ripple violently. The villagers stopped, their eyes wide with fear. Suddenly, Olokun's voice echoed from the depths. "Do you dare enter my waters without respect?" Sefu knelt at the riverbank, his head bowed. "Great Olokun, we do this not out of disrespect but out of love for our people. We seek only to restore what was lost." The water calmed, and the voice softened. "Your humility is noted, Prince Sefu. Continue your work." With renewed determination, the group retrieved the remaining stones and carried them to the riverbank. The villagers gathered at the river to rebuild the sacred path. It was a massive effort that required every hand. Children carried smaller stones, while the strongest men and women lifted the larger ones. Obasi and Sefu worked side by side, guiding the people and ensuring the stones were placed correctly. As the path grew longer, the river began to clear. The dark, muddy water slowly turned a lighter shade, a sign that Olokun was watching. "Look," a child shouted. "The river is changing." The villagers cheered, their hope reignited. Even the skeptics, like Chief Odigan, joined the effort with newfound energy. As the sun set, the sacred path was nearly complete. The villagers lit torches, their faces glowing with pride and determination. Obasi stood at the end of the path, looking toward the river's heart. "We are almost there," he said to Sefu. "But the final step will be the most difficult." "What is that?" Sefu asked. "Reaching Olokun's heart," Obasi replied. "And proving that our unity is real." As dawn broke over Ekuvonu, the villagers gathered at the riverbank to complete the sacred path. The air was thick with anticipation, and the once dark, cursed waters had grown clearer, a hopeful sign of Olokun's approval. Only one stone remained to be placed, the keystone at the center of the path, symbolizing unity and reconciliation. Prince Sefu and Obasi stood before the villagers. Obasi held the keystone, its surface smooth and glowing faintly in the sunlight. "This stone will complete our work," Obasi said. "But it must be laid with pure intentions. Only then will Olokun accept our offering." Baba Ojin stepped forward. "Who will place the final stone?" he asked. "This task requires a heart free of pride and selfishness." The villagers murmured among themselves. Many looked to Obasi, whose selflessness had guided them, and to Prince Sefu, who had taken the first steps toward redemption. Sefu stepped forward, his head high but his voice humble. "Let me place the stone. This curse began with my actions, and it is only right that I end it." Obasi handed the stone to Sefu, looking him in the eyes. "This is your chance to prove your change, Prince. Go with a clear heart." As Sefu walked onto the path, the villagers watched in silence. Each step he took was a test of his resolve, and the river seemed to react to his presence. The water rippled gently at first, but as Sefu neared the center, it grew restless. When he reached the heart of the path, Sefu knelt and held the keystone above his head. "Olokun," he said, his voice steady, "I place this stone not as a prince, but as a servant of my people. Forgive my pride and selfishness. Accept this offering and restore peace to our land." He laid the stone in place, and for a moment, the river was silent. Suddenly, the water roared, and a massive wave rose from the river's center. The villagers gasped as Olokun's form appeared, towering above them. The spirit's glowing eyes scanned the crowd, then focused on Sefu. "Prince Sefu," Olokun's voice thundered. "You have humbled yourself before your people and your spirit. But true redemption requires more than words. Will you sacrifice what you hold most dear for the sake of your kingdom?" Sefu trembled but stood firm. "Yes, mighty Olokun. I will give anything to save my people." The spirit's eyes softened, and the wave began to lower. "Your sacrifice is accepted. The curse is lifted." A brilliant light erupted from the river, spreading over the land. The villagers shielded their eyes as the water turned crystal clear, its surface sparkling like diamonds. The firstborns, who had been weak and sick, suddenly stood tall and healthy, their strength restored. Cheers erupted from the crowd as parents hugged their children, tears streaming down their faces. The land itself seemed to awaken, with plants blooming and birds singing once more. King Asamo stepped forward, his voice filled with emotion. "Thank you, mighty Olokun. And thank you, my son, for your courage." Sefu turned to the villagers, his eyes glistening with tears. "I vow to be a better prince, to serve you with humility and love. This is not my redemption alone, it belongs to all of us." As the villagers celebrated, Olokun turned to Obasi. "Obasi, your wisdom and kindness have guided this kingdom back to peace. What do you wish as your reward?" Obasi bowed low. "Great Olokun, I wish for nothing but the continued prosperity of Ekuvonu. My people's happiness is enough." Olokun's voice softened. "Your humility is truly rare. But know this, you shall be remembered forever as a hero of Ekuvonu." With those words, the spirit disappeared into the river, leaving it calm and serene. The villagers lifted Obasi onto their shoulders, chanting his name. Even Sefu joined in, a smile on his face. That night, the kingdom of Ekuvonu celebrated its new beginning. The palace was lit with lanterns, and the villagers shared food, music, and laughter. Obasi sat quietly at the edge of the crowd, watching the joy around him. Sefu approached and sat beside him. "You could have asked for riches, land, or power," Sefu said. "Why didn't you?" Obasi smiled. "True wealth is found in the love and unity of our people. That is all I need." Weeks passed, and the kingdom of Ekuvonu flourished like never before. The crops were abundant, the river teemed with fish, and the people worked together in harmony. The once divided kingdom had become a family united by their shared struggle and victory. At the palace, King Asamo declared a feast in honor of the people's bravery. The villagers gathered in the royal courtyard, their faces bright with joy. Musicians played cheerful tunes, and the aroma of freshly cooked meals filled the air. Prince Sefu, now a changed man, stood beside his father. He had taken on new duties, visiting the villagers daily to understand their needs and concerns. Obasi, though honored at the feast, remained humble. He sat quietly at a table, speaking kindly to those around him. When Sefu approached, Obasi greeted him warmly. "You have grown into a true leader, Prince," Obasi said with a smile. "I had a good teacher," Sefu replied, bowing his head. "Your wisdom guided us all." As the feast continued, a soft breeze swept through the courtyard. The torches flickered, and the sound of the river filled the air. The villagers fell silent, sensing something extraordinary. From the river's direction, a faint glow appeared. Slowly, the glowing figure of Olokun emerged, its presence calm and majestic. The people knelt in reverence, their hearts filled with gratitude. "People of Ekuvonu," Olokun's voice echoed gently, "you have proven the power of unity and humility. Your hearts are clean, and your spirit is strong. I shall remain your guardian and bless your land for generations to come." The villagers cheered, their voices carrying through the night. Olokun's figure faded, leaving behind a sparkling mist that blanketed the kingdom, a sign of the spirit's eternal protection. The next day, Obasi prepared to return to his humble farm. Though the king offered him riches and a place in the palace, Obasi declined. "My home is with the land," he said. "But I will always serve the kingdom in my own way." The villagers gathered to see him off, showering him with gifts of food, cloth, and tools. Even Prince Sefu knelt before him, offering a golden bracelet as a token of gratitude. "You are the true hero of Ekuvonu," Sefu said. Obasi smiled. "We are all heroes when we work together." Time passed, and the kingdom grew stronger. The sacred path remained a reminder of the importance of unity and respect. The people told the story of Obasi and Prince Sefu to their children, ensuring the lessons of the curse would never be forgotten. Sefu ruled wisely under his father's guidance, becoming a leader who cared deeply for his people. The bond with Olokun remained strong, as yearly offerings were made with gratitude and love. Obasi, though far from the palace, was never forgotten. Villagers often visited his farm, seeking his advice and wisdom. He became a legend in his own time, remembered as the humble farmer who saved a kingdom. Moral lesson. From the proud Prince Sefu to the humble farmer Obasi, the story of Ekuvonu teaches us that pride and greed can destroy, but humility, unity, and love can heal. No matter how small or simple you may feel, your actions can make a difference. Together, we are stronger. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Camtoon for more exciting African tales filled with lessons and inspiration. Let us know in the comments what you learned from this story, and stay tuned for more adventures from across the world of storytelling.